case you're just starting to look at Bitcoin and are wondering, why is there so much hype around Bitcoin? How is it different from all those other much cooler looking cryptocurrencies? I almost fell for that one. What is it exactly about Bitcoin that makes it so precious? So much that there's a swath of people calling themselves Bitcoin maximalists. That's what I was thinking right before I started buying Bitcoin. But then I learned one thing about Bitcoin, the thing that makes it unique and different, not just from other cryptocurrencies, but also different from all other investments. Yes, even including gold. And that thing is scarcity. Bitcoin is the first digital asset that is truly scarce. That instantly drew me to Bitcoin. And in this video, I'm going to explain to you why scarcity is so important. For those of you who are still on the fence about Bitcoin, this may be the thing that changes your mind. Tell me in the comments if it does. Well, for those of you already in the Bitcoin club, it may reignite your confidence in Bitcoin and remind you why you're going through this rather nerve-wracking roller coaster of investing in Bitcoin in the first place. So why did my eyes lit up and I immediately started buying Bitcoin once I discovered Bitcoin was scarce? Simple. Because scarce things are valuable. The reason that front row seats at the World Cup are so expensive and valuable is because they're scarce. There are so few of them. The reason why breathing air costs nothing unless you live on Mars is because there's practically unlimited air to breathe. So Bitcoin is extremely valuable because it's scarce. There will only be a maximum of 21 million Bitcoins forever. And guys, I can't tell you how happy I am that I started buying Bitcoin a few years back and haven't stopped stacking since then. I first started buying Bitcoin in Canada on this platform called NDAX. It's super easy to buy Bitcoin on NDAX and it has the lowest trading fees of only 0.2% in the market. Plus, you can even get a $10 bonus when you open an account using my affiliate link in the descriptions below. No terms and conditions apply. A while ago, I also made the critical move into storing Bitcoin on a cold wallet. Blockstream Jade's hardware wallets are my favorite ones, and you can also get a 10% discount using my affiliate link below or code Satoshistobitcoin. Recently, I've been buying Bitcoin directly into my cold wallet using this Canadian platform called Beaver Bitcoin. It's really simple, just interact the money and they will send Bitcoin straight into your cold wallet with no hassle. Affiliate link is also in the descriptions below. I know guys, these are all affiliate links, so I may earn a small commission if you sign up and use their services. So this is what's different about Bitcoin. Once the last Bitcoin is created, or more precisely mined, that's all that we'll have. That's not the case with almost all other coins that can be printed forever. We'll get into that in another video. Consider at the same time how many people we have on this planet, around 8.2 billion people or so. So think about this. Technically, we're not talking about affordability here, but in theory at least, everyone on this planet could have one cell phone or even more, or a t-shirt or whatever. On the other hand, there are not enough Bitcoin available for each person. If we divided Bitcoin's maximum supply of 21 million coins by 8.2 billion people, each person could only have about 0.0026 Bitcoin. I hope my math is correct. But that will likely never happen. Currently, as per making of this video, already 19.96 million Bitcoin have been mined, proudly owned by about 106 million people around the world. There are only about 1 million Bitcoin or so left to be mined, so you can see how even the unmined supply is dwindling. So now imagine what will happen if more and more people see the value of Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is valuable not just because it's limited, but also because it's decentralized and secure. Watch this video to find out more about why Bitcoin is so valuable. But anyways, if more people want Bitcoin while there is less and less new supply, then the price of Bitcoin will go up. So if right now you own 1 Bitcoin, or if you're planning to own 1 Bitcoin, that will put you in a very strong position financially, because you'll be owning one of 21 million Bitcoins that will ever exist. Now, why does it matter? Why does it matter that Bitcoin supply is limited? That 21 million is all that there will ever be? Isn't it good to have more and more supply of a good thing? Not always. The easiest way to understand this is by looking at the money supply. Fiat money, which is your US dollars, Canadian dollars, euros, yen, rupees, or whatever currency you're using that is issued by your government, which has the exact opposite characteristic of Bitcoin. Fiat money is a government-issued currency not backed by a physical commodity, like gold, for example. Since it is not pegged or backed by gold, governments can just print money and pump as much as they want into the economy depending on their policy. And what happens if more and more money flushes the market? Inflation. Yes, I'm sure you've experienced the same thing. You go into the supermarket, see that your favorite steak or yogurt is up by $2. Hey, wait, that's not an inflation of 2 or 3%. That's gotta be at least 10% or even more. crazy. Yes, don't let the publicized inflation rate of 2, 3, or even 4% fool you. The single-digit inflation you see in most first world countries are usually the CPI or Consumer Price Index. It assumes a very specific basket of consumer goods and tracks how the price increases. Most often, the contents of the baskets are not realistic. That's why in reality, you and I likely experience a much higher inflation. And here's the insidious thing. Inflation happens not simply because there's a supply shortage and growing demand, although of course that can happen sometimes. But then what are the other reasons for inflation happening? The following article gives us a hint. Demand factors are responsible for about 1/3, with the remainder resulting from ambiguous factors. What might those ambiguous factors be? A practically unlimited money supply, perhaps? Look at the continuous increase in money supply, for example in the US, but it's also happening in most other countries. The M2 money supply, which includes physical currency like cash, but also savings, deposits, and money market instruments, grew by about 5 to 10% each year. And as more money flows into the economy, you can imagine how every dollar you painstakingly earn from your job becomes less and less valuable. It loses its purchasing power and buys you less and less groceries, plane tickets, and so on. And this is so backward. Imagine that without doing anything, by default, your money is melting like an ice cube, like Michael Saylor likes to say. Just tell me, with these mechanics in place, how in the world are you going to grow wealth and secure retirement at some point? That's going to be a race uphill this way. But Bitcoin, on the other hand, makes the journey so much easier. Since it's limited, its supply is capped to a maximum of 21 million, it cannot be inflated. It will not lose value. On the contrary, its value will grow over time. At least that's what I believe. But what about gold? I know what most proponents of gold will say. Gold is the scarcest asset. It's absolutely limited. Guys, I don't blame them. That's also what I used to think. I thought that gold was the scarcest asset because it's limited. But after researching a bit more, I found out that it's not that simple. Here are some rough stats. Currently, there are about 190,000 tons of gold above ground. I think the latest number is 200,000 something tons or so. And estimated below ground are about 54,000 tons of gold that have not been mined yet. So once this underground gold gets mined and put onto the market, you can imagine that the price will rise. But the bigger question is, do we really know that there's all the gold that there will ever be? I think the reasonable answer is no, we don't know that for sure. This article by the Visual Capitalist explains it very well. Can more gold be found? Although economic gold reserves in the ground sit at around 64,000 tons, this doesn't count all the gold left. And as the price of gold rises, smaller or low-grade deposits become more economically feasible to mine. High prices also create the incentive for explorers to look for more gold, which leads to new discoveries. Now, Bitcoin is unlike gold. Neither higher demand nor higher price will create more Bitcoin. The limited cap of 21 million is built into the system, like it or not. And because of that, by securing yourself a Bitcoin, a few Bitcoins, or even just a large stack of Satoshis, you will be owning a small chunk of the most valuable asset in the world. But tell me guys what you think in the comments below. I'd really love to hear from you. So guys, will you keep stacking? I will do for sure. And remember guys, buying one Bitcoin sounds huge and crazy until you realize it's just stacks of Satoshis. One Bitcoin equals 100 million Satoshis. And for the price of a coffee, you can stack thousands of Satoshis each day until one day you own the whole coin.